Hello, everybody. Welcome to Up the Boards, a hockey podcast hosted by my good friend Yusuf, myself, Tyler, we're the greatest big Chris Drury fan, and our other friend Alex, who's below me in my thing, so just your blow. How are y'all doing? Yusuf, are you alive and well and good?
I'm alive. That's it.
Good.
That's
That's
it.
it? What do you mean? It's the off season. I mean, like Alex's team made some moves, my team made some moves. What'd your team do?
Did my team make moves?
Did your team? Well,
Well, we'll talk about that.
That's kind of the move of the offseason.
This is the topic of the offseason. All right.
So the Red Wings, the Detroit Red Wings, my favorite sports team in the world, decided not to have a first round pick in the draft to get Justin Falk, and then they were like, "We need a first round pick," so we traded Sebastian Cossa at the draft to get a first round pick, and we got a guy. I can't remember his name, but he seems like a cool dude, so I'm happy about it. Whatever, right? And I don't know if you guys know, our captain requested to be traded, so that's been.
So where'd you end up?
He's actually still a Red Wing.
Oh, so that's
and you're
kind of not
you're
good.
wondering why. Yes, and you're wondering why. Well, he had a 3-team list of all pretty, bottom of the barrel, considered teams, Minnesota, Vegas, and Florida. And then he added the Dallas Stars to that list. And now everyone's here going, okay, this is interesting. Do we trade? Okay, is Dylan going? Is he, we put the tinfoil hats, we stroke our beards, all of us, all Red Wings fans have the same. And we go, okay, Yzerman's going to do the thing, right? And all of a sudden you start hearing rumor, hey, the Red Wings are potentially looking to acquire a Jason Robertson for Dylan Larkin. Everyone went, ooh, that would be nice. Okay, Yzerman, do the thing. And then Yzerman did, in fact, do a thing, and that was resign. I have a photo of this man up here, right here. Hold on. No. Wait, 1 second. I have a photo of this fucking man, my hero, up here in the studio. I have a signed portrait of him in my fucking room back home. I'm like, I love this man, and this is what he does?
I'm not laughing at your pain, Yusuf. It's the whole situation. I mean, I don't think he resigned. I think he was canned, and they said to save your image, just go out and say you
resign. He was canned, and they were like, "We are the Red Wings would like to announce a move in leadership, and Steve Yzerman will be a senior advisor to the owner, whatever that means."
He gets to keep his paycheck, is what it means, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a paycheck. Yeah,
he's just not signing the paychecks. Oh my god, it's just like, it's so like. Not to get
7
personal,
years.
I've already had such a very interesting couple of weeks with like my mental health and things, right? I've been trying to get back to normal, and then this happens. I'm like, Steve, you fucking asshole.
So, I do have a question. Does that mean the Yzer plan is over?
I never want to hear that word again.
I'll say this.
I never want to hear that word again.
I do feel for you a little bit, because, at least under my shithead, we've had our ups and down moments. Like, we've made the Eastern Conference Final. We were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about last season. But, we kind of have some shit going on. You guys kind of, hired them, we got a plan. And then, for, 7 years, it was just kind of, just out the playoffs.
Well, it was basically franchise hero here. He's going to lead us to victory again.
Yeah,
and surely nothing complicated will happen. Just sat on his hands.
April 19th,
that was his
2019.
move, sitting on his hands.
Dude, I remember because you were so excited because he helped build the Lightning and everything. You were fucking hyped.
I was so ready. I was like, oh, he's home. I still remember April 19th, 2019 is the day that they announced that he was coming back. And I remember being like a child that day. I'm like, oh my God, he's coming home. We're going to fucking do something. The Ken Holland era is finally over. All of our misery is finally gone. We have since then not made the playoffs, miserably collapsed twice, and our captain wants to be traded. But we have Moritz Seider. So somehow that's the right side through all of this.
Hell yeah.
For now.
Oh my God, don't even. Oh. Uh, yeah. My buddies were texting me after that news came out. They were like, "All right, Yusuf, it's time to put on the blue and white and be a Leafs fan again." Gavin McKenna, and I'm like, no, no.
It's
I hate this
so
team
sad
sometimes, dude.
because the league is better when all the original 6 franchises are relevant.
Yeah,
That's just, it's like that. That'd be like saying baseball would be better off if the Yankees were bad.
Well, wasn't it
Right.
something like the last 5 years? Like this was like the first time I think in history one of the original 6 teams didn't make the playoffs or something like that. Like,
Or like a
Which-
certain combination of them.
or
never
like
Yeah.
a
did
certain
make it.
combination that
Yeah.
didn't make the playoffs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was wild.
yeah.
It's, I mean, Chicago has been, we'll talk about Chicago at some point today, but it stinks. It really just stinks because the pillars of a rebuild were there, and it was always like they're one piece away from at least being able to poke their heads out and say they had, like, legitimize the tank.
Yeah. But I think Chicago, now granted, we will talk about Chicago in a second, but Chicago has done a better job recently of kind of righting the wrong of that ship, especially with this past offseason. Kind of. But the Red Wings have been like, kind of. The Red Wings are like, hey, we've never gotten a lottery pick. What do we do? Okay, let's just do all this. Oh, okay. And like the draft picks have turned out fine for the most part.
You should have rigged
One
the you
sider.
should have rigged the ping pong balls like the Leafs did.
Yeah, I know. Fucking bastards.
Don't get me fucking started. Don't get me started.
Dude, no. The Ducks in their entire tanking period had 0 number 1 overall picks.
We've had one in over 100 years in the league. I don't want to hear it.
The Ducks have never had one either.
Okay,
Or 0 the entire existence.
The Red Wings famously have the worst record in NHL history from the 1920 season, and we still didn't get Alexis Lafreniere. We got Lucas Raymond out of it, but we didn't get Alexis Lafreniere out of it.
We can talk. We could trade. We'll do some barter.
No, I'm good. It's okay.
All right.
Oh,
Good,
Yusuf,
that guy's gonna vote
at least to think about what's next? What do you think? What do you think they're going to try and do?
Okay, so step number
Because
one
Yzerman's
is
still doing the job until they find his replacement. That's what I read.
Yeah, which I'm kind of hoping they go external because my bet is it's going to be Sean Horkoff or Chris Draper that become the new GM. So we'll see. Which again, cool, but I don't know if I need another Hockey Town hero in the front office right now. Oh man. Okay, step number 1 is Larkin. Right? That's the thing. It's figure out what the situation is there. Either trade him or we're going to get a Zach Werenski situation where Dylan's going to be like, I have seen God and decided I'm going to stay. And we're like, okay, I guess. But I don't think he should be captain moving forward. Strip him. I think you give it a year of no captaincy or you just give it to Moritz. Number 2, there is a certain right shot giant defenseman on our team that is still an RFA. And I don't want him getting offer sheeted because of, the offer sheet that happened this offseason. So,
No,
Steven Gregory Yzerman, if you can hear me, please give Simon Edvinsson money. If I have to find out at some point, either during this pod or anytime between now and the next time we talk or whatever, and I see the words Simon Edvinsson has been offer sheeted, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to throw something. Like, we need to keep that kid by any means necessary. And oh my God, what are we doing not giving him money? Please just do something. Next step, right? Goaltending. Goaltending needs to be figured out as well. Because John Gibson is there. He was great, and then he died again, as John Gibson does. So we gotta, have that sorted. I believe we signed Daniil Tarasov. That's great. But we also have Trey Augustine and Michael Postava, so they need to do stuff. All to say, if I were the Red Wings, I would just do something. All right, I'm done. Anyway, how are the Rangers doing?
Well, I guess apparently, unlike the rest of you guys, I had a great time this offseason. Like, it was a little interesting. All last season, I was watching games as the Rangers disappointed me, and I remember watching a couple Vegas games, and I returned my wife, and I was like, I wish we could get a player like fucking Dorofeyev. Like, why can't we have nice things in New York? It worked out, apparently. A star flew over one night, and a wish came true. So, I mean...
Yusuf and I were watching the draft together.
I cried.
When the trade happened.
I was playing a show and I had my phone propped up and I was like, it was great. It was wonderful. Yes, I mean, that's obviously great. Like,
And
you know,
and the number you locked him up to too, right?
That's
yeah,
a
like
nice
we
number.
got
It's fucking phenomenal.
11 mil for like basically a 40 goal scorer. Yeah, like in
I hear
today's
they're costing 18 million these days.
something like that. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Don't worry. So like that was great. And then like honestly, I love Oliver Bergstrand. So that's like a fun like little like second, third line piece. Love that. You know, we fixed our our defense because we were like, what if Adam Fox and Gavrikov and then children, which didn't work. So now we have Adam Fox, Gavrikov, Sean Jersey, and Marcus Peterson as our top four, and then children below that, which is great. And we signed Braden Schneider to a 1-year deal. Like
That's my question mark. I don't know what's going on there.
well,
That
so
felt weird.
So we avoided the arbitration period with him,
Yeah.
which is great. So he got to keep his RFA status for next season, but he gets a 1-year deal to prove how much he's actually worth. And we can decide what we want to do with him. It seems like a really kind of good win-win for each
I
side.
did not know the RFA extension tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense because Braden Schneider has not had the best sample size
No,
to really
so that,
gauge for a contract. So
and we're trying to figure out if we want to keep him or if we want to trade him and kind of see what he wants and what we want. He wants to stay. We're not sure. So it kind of feels like a nice little opportunity, which is good. So amazingly, you can ask these two at the end of last season. Like I was Drury's biggest supporter for since his start, and I was pretty much done this last season. And just like that, he pulled me back in. So fuck yeah, Chris Drury, way to go.
I mean, the Rangers' problem has always been scoring because they have Igor in net.
Yes, like
it kind of solves a lot of problems for them, and they've just added a like pure goal scorer by the definition. He's just now. I think the interesting thing will be seeing how he adapts to not being on a line with Jack Eichel.
I mean,
that's the big question.
My point will then be, Lafreniere is not a bad passer. He set Panarin up for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Gabe Perreault is a dog. Mika
Perreault
Zibanejad, also incredible player. And then JT Miller
Zibanejad is a sneaky assist man.
And then JT Miller in Vancouver for many years was cooking up some good assists and stuff, man. Like, so I don't know. I got faith. I think it's
the
easy.
Chemistry is going to be a big thing. Can he find somebody who like sees him the way that, or understands how to feed him the puck the way that he could get it in Vegas?
Absolutely. I think it'll be definitely a little bit of a fun time. I'm excited for this. And then, like I said, adding the two other defensive pieces. I mean, you went from having a first line and then arguably like two third kind of line D pairings to like a very clear one, like a strong one, and then a really strong two. And now you have also a really good third. So last year we were playing like which defenseman fits in the square hole when it's a round player, and it was not working. Now we actually have like a decor. So good damn you, Chris Drury. Way to go. And he got good prospects through all this too. We got Liam Greentree. We got, I forget the guy's name. He was like one of Utah's top prospects when we traded Vincent Treychuk, and it's like he's doing good shit. And we got Albert Schmitz, which I love. So I don't know, man. We had a good I'm actually happy for once, which is weird.
That's nice.
So, yeah,
that's nice. That's
how about
great.
you, Alex? How's your team doing?
Yeah, Alex, how are things? How is
Angry L? It's been a roller coaster this offseason. An absolute fun. I think the best way to explain this thing is to go back to the Ducks exiting the playoffs. Actually, no, let's just talk about Pat Verbeek. That's the whole subject. I don't know what he's been trying to do here. It doesn't. He's been fucking grinding down RFAs. Now, the only point that makes sense to my brain is he actually has not loved the people Robert Murray or Bob Murray drafted. He shipped out. He wouldn't pay Jamie, held him out, got a contract done, shipped him out. Same thing happened to Z. Same thing happened to Mason McTavish. He panic traded during the draft Mason McTavish for 2 first-round picks. And there were talks that Mason McTavish should be bringing back real NHL level talent, which is true. They quit. They simply just quit on a player who I believe has so much upside. It boggles my mind. It it didn't make any sense to not get back a real NHL player for Mason McTavish. Anyways, we get 2 first-round picks. We draft some players who have some upside. Verbeek has been good at drafting. Whatever. We will see how they develop. It's a lottery ticket. We'll see what happens. And this whole time, we're sitting here with 2 massive RFAs. One who can't be offer sheeted in Cutter Gauthier, and the fucking franchise, our fucking franchise center. Our undeniable 1C franchise center. Just sitting out, open to availability. And now at this time, we didn't have any reporting on how negotiations were going or what had been attempted. So at the time, we're just sitting here going, Pat, what, sign him. Sorry, like what? Get him signed. And then the offer sheet drops. It rocked my world for a week. Yusuf and Tyler here, I owe you an apology. I was day drinking. I was a mess. I wasn't actually day drinking, but I was a fucking mess. Because the guy who I got a jersey on my back and I have loved since the second we drafted him was signed a contract to be a Philadelphia Flyer for $18 million AAV. And they waited 6 of the 7 days to make their decision. Now, they were probably making phone calls. What could 4 first-round picks get? Yeah, and their answer was probably you would spend the next 15 years looking for another Leo Carlsson. So you don't fucking trade your 4 first. Like, you weren't going to be able to flip it for anything of value that was going to help this team that just made the playoffs. So now the cap is strung. We have no right side defensemen because they all left. Gudas, I'm fine with that. Go, bye. But like, there's no right side. The forward core is a fucking mess. The cap situation is fucked. And now reporting has come out that it's all Leo's agent's fault. Because Verbeek had tried to lock him up when they locked up Lacombe in September last year. They said, no, we're going to wait through the season. Verbeek tried until January to get it extended. And then they basically were like, nope, focus on the season. We're just simply not going to hear about this. Then his agents walk him to the offer sheet window because Verbeek was saying, I don't want to spend all of my cap on Leo Carlsson. And then Danny Briere pulls the most diabolical move in, I think, NHL history. Texting the agents at 12:04 the second he was allowed to. Getting this offer sheet through to them. Resetting NHL payment structure for the foreseeable future. And now no one's done anything. He walked in and he bitch slapped the Ducks and walked away. Now, I'm happy they chose to keep Leo. That was the right decision. Now Cutter's being a dick because there's reporting that he doesn't want to take less than 18 mil. And I'm like, in what world does that make sense for anyone? Besides you, Cutter. So that stinks. We have no right side defenseman. The cap is fucked. Beckett is just sitting out there. What's going to happen to him next year? I don't know if his team's going to be able to take a step forward. And that is really confusing and upsetting.
Yeah. You guys kind of fumbled this one a little bit.
Completely fumbled the bag. You know what I did the second after all the offer sheet stuff settled out and they said they were going to keep him? I opened up NHL 26 and the first thing I did day one as GM was give Leo Carlsson a fucking 8-year, $10.5 million extension that he said yes to in 2 seconds. And did the same thing for Cutter. So I have an NHL 26 franchise that's running beautifully with a perfectly managed cap.
Verbeek's playing on hard mode, man. This is not... I'm just glad we signed Dorofeyev before you guys signed Carlson.
It's so stupid. And then I don't know if you guys know the details of this contract, but Danny Briere and Flyers ownership made a fucking hand grenade. It is most of the contract's $90 million valuation is bonuses up front on the signing. So Leo Carlson's making like 40 mil this year. Ooh. It's all in bonuses. His salary per year is a league minimum. He's making league minimum for 5 years. And then the rest of the $80+ million is bonuses.
It's wild.
It's a giant middle finger. And it's so stupid. Sorry, Cutter Gauthier pissed you off, but Danny Briere is being a little bit of a bitch.
That is... So, that's kind of the big thing I think we're going to be talking about today is the effects of that offer sheet, but it's so funny.
It's the only thing to talk about.
It really is. It's so fun to me that offer sheets in the NHL have been used in the pettiest of ways.
That's kind of all they've been used for, actually. Now you say that.
It's really, yeah, they kind of, right? Like, you look back, historically, there's the Scott Stevens, I believe it was, offer sheet.
That's the
from
offer
St.
sheet
Louis.
for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, there was that. There was, if you think about the double offer sheet that St. Louis threw at Edmonton to get Holloway and Broberg. Not as crazy ramifications, but just really funny that a team double offer sheeted another team.
Well, it entirely hamstrung Edmonton's rebuild or attempt.
Yeah.
Sorry, cap structure.
Their
It hamstrung
core,
them and took away two good pieces behind McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah.
And
So
what
that was
happened
big.
to them?
Well, and then my personal favorite one was the war between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Canadiens from a few years ago, where Sebastian Aho got offer sheeted, and the Hurricanes
wasn't that only over like 11 mil or something? I don't remember the value on that.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy, but it's just the pettiness of it in that I
So
believe
I
it
got
was
that,
Montreal tried to offer sheet Aho.
Yeah, 5
Carolina
years,
Hurricanes said,
$42
"Fuck
million.
you." Yes. The Hurricanes said, "Fuck you, we're keeping Aho," and then said, "Hey, we have a funny idea. We're going to offer sheet Kotkaniemi."
Yep, 1 year for 6 mil, 6.1.
Yep. And somehow the Carolina Hurricanes both won and lost that.
They found a way to do both.
They somehow found a way to do both. They kept Sebastian Aho, and they got Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Which, like, man. But yeah, like, offer sheets, it's so wild. Because GMs know it's a threat. Like, it just becomes the biggest game of chicken if you have to get to that situation. And it's, I didn't know that it was more the agent's side from Leo Carlson's camp that was delaying this over and over and over again. I honestly thought it was Verbeek for the longest time.
That's what I thought too. Because he did it to 3 prominent RFAs on the team and then traded them all.
But,
I'm actually quite thankful
hindsight's-
that agent went on 32 Thoughts to speak to Elliot Friedman about this and put their story out there, and they took all the credit for it. The Ducks were trying to do the right thing and got blocked out of it. Funny tidbit, I don't know if you guys have put this together. Leo Carlson is represented by the same agent who represents Alex Killorn and Chris Kreider. And they said on the podcast, yep, I had to call those guys after this was happening to kind of like tell them. And they kind of knew about it, and they know about the business side. And so they got Leo a deal that is more than likely going to get both of them traded.
Yeah.
I think Kreider has value.
Yes, is my answer. I loved that dude.
Yeah, some team will take him. San Jose at this point might take him.
But yeah, oh Jesus, they have some kind of
among the questionable things. So okay,
the most immediate ramification is Cutter Gauthier, and there's now who knows how good this reporting is because it's the freaking Chicklets guys.
So okay, are you talking about the thing Keith Yandel was talking about on Chicklets?
Yeah,
regarding I've heard the same
We never
thing.
slandered Keith Yandel. Keith Yandel's wonderful.
No, Keith Yandel is wonderful. He's a wonderful man. Sorry, Alex, you were saying.
Oh, well, Yandel says that somebody fed him a nugget of information inside, and it's that Cutter won't take a penny less than 18.
Damn.
And
you who'd pay that? The Flyers.
I'm literally just like, what Cutter? I get it. You have an agent whose job is make as much money for you so that he gets as much money at the end of the day for himself because agents. That's how that works. And you did score more points than Leo Carlson, but there's a cap, and if you want to be a team of any success, we can't have 2 guys making 18. Heck, it's currently you shouldn't have 1 guy making 18, but that's the reality now. We have somebody else making 18.
Having a situation where you have 2 dudes being paid $36 million a year is somehow worse than the Leafs core 4 situation.
Yes, somehow. To be honest, at the beginning of the season, I was like, can we just pay Leo and Cutter both 15?
You might have
yeah, that's a lot,
Leafs.
but I personally believe them. I personally believe in their talent, and I was like, yeah, just give them 15, keep them, make it easy.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you both should have just taken like 12. Just gotten signed for 12 back in September or something. All this could have been avoided.
And again, there's Beckett Seneca waiting in the wings and all these other things.
So it's just, I'm kind of like, I don't know how Verbeek keeps his job unless if everything is true and he actually was trying to do it. The only part that the agent kept secret was what happened in July. or what happened in June.
Okay.
The only stuff we don't know is what the communications were in June, where was
Gotcha.
Verbeek pissed off at them because now he's in this
Something.
situation?
Third other,
Like,
yeah.
Was he absolutely being disrespectful and that pushed Carlson to sign the deal? I don't know. Everyone said the right things afterwards, but it's crazy. This is changing the cap structure of everything to come. And now you have Macklin Celebrini putting out there that he just wants to win and he'll take whatever he wants to take. And now I'm just like, okay, Sidney Crosby Jr. Like,
hey man, this is Macklin Celebrini. I just want to welcome you to the NHL and congratulations on getting drafted. It's a big opportunity to. That is kind of where I want to go now. Is from the Ducks, the ramification for the Ducks, now the league ramifications of Leo Carlsson signing for $18 million at a 5-year deal. Because
this will last one summer. Someone will break this record like next summer. It's going to be a 1-year talking point. Yeah,
and that's the best part is that who remembers the brief talking point of who was supposed to be the highest paid player in the league going into this coming season? It was supposed to be Kirill Kaprizov. Do we forget that? Did people forget that Kirill Kaprizov's $17 million dollar contract kicks in this coming season?
Looks like
and
a
now
bargain.
he is not the highest paid player in the league. So the actual ramifications regarding the whole league. There are 2 notable names that are going to be needing some money at some point. One of them is already mentioned, Macklin Celebrini.
Okay, Perot.
Who will be leading the questionable Sharks to potentially the promised land. We don't know anymore because what an offseason you had. And Connor Bedard. And I think the funniest part of this whole narrative was everyone thought that GMs would wait for Bedard to get his number or they'd wait for Celebrini to get his number. Everyone thought Celebrini's going to wait until Bedard gets his number. Bedard waits until Celebrini gets his number, vice versa.
The Carlson's agent said we're going to wait for Bedard's number.
Insane. It's so funny how all of this is just a fucking spiral. But now we're in a situation where Macklin Celebrini is due for an extension, and Connor Bedard is at the end of his rookie contract as well, right? What do? Leo Carlsson's about to make $18 million a year. Do the Sharks find a way to get Macklin to agree to something less than that to be a team-friendly?
Macklin's going to take 15.
Probably.
Macklin's going to take like 8 or 5 to 6 for 18, just because the cap's going up.
Yeah, the cap's
that's
going
like
up.
15's like the new 10.
Because then you also have, you have to look at this offseason and you look at next offseason with the kind of players that are going to be up for something. You also look at players that have signed extensions that you go, okay, well that's, sensible, right? Good example, the Ivan Demidov extension, 8 years, 9.125. How do they keep getting away with this? We don't know, but they did again. Beckett Seneca is going to be due for an extension next season. Adam Fantilli, everything about him has been quiet. All it took was the Flyers to be petty to change everything in this league. Because now the younger guys are gonna, now granted, younger guys are gonna get paid more, but this is insane.
Well,
this is insane.
No, I'm gonna disagree a little bit. I do think there's gonna be a hair of you're gonna have the players who are always just gonna ask for the top value of whatever, because that's just how every sport has ever had players who want to get paid all the money in the world.
Well, and agents who make giant bonuses off of these contracts.
And some agents are going for big numbers, and then there's other agents who are like, hey, if you take a more team-friendly deal, you can, win championships and stuff. And part of it's player personality, part of it's agent personality. And once again, look at Crosby. His whole career was making not the highest paid player in the league. I mean, Ovechkin really hasn't been the highest paid player in the league. They're both having incredible careers that have, going to leave a mark on the record books of hockey history for a long time. So I don't know if necessarily this is going to completely rewrite the league. I think the highest salaries are going to just be ridiculous, but also at the same token, past 2 seasons now, and I think the next 3 or 4, the cap's supposed to go up by about $8-9 million a year. So some of this is a little bit natural inflation, if you will, but also some of it you're obviously going to have your weird offer sheet situations or your real Kaprizov saying, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that's fine. That's always going to happen. But I do think some of it needs to be looked at in the ratio of how much money is being spent.
Well, haven't we had a succession where we've had like 4 different players be the highest paid player in the league in the span of like 3 years?
Well, it's going to happen as the cap goes up. That's just like normal.
The
like,
contracts are going to go up. It will no longer be the highest at some point in the not too distant future.
Dude, same thing with the NFL right now. Same thing with the NBA. It's like this is just
the NFL specifically, especially in the quarterback market. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. So I think there's a little bit of that. I mean, like I know when like Shesterkin signed his contract extension way back when, a couple years ago now, people were freaking out in New York. Like what? Because it's over $11 million, and it's like percentage-wise though, it's the exact same as Henrik Lundqvist's $8 million extension when he signed his big extension, and it's like it's not that it's the same exact percentage of the cap to a T.
NHL fan bases have sticker shock.
Yeah,
that is very much a real thing.
But I also don't think because once again the cap hadn't gone up for a while, and like now it's gone up a lot. Like we're talking an $8 million player a year. So I mean, there's a little bit of that going on. That's the only saving grace Alex says here is you guys get another 8 to 9 mil to play off next year.
Yeah, an extra 8 to 9 mil, and then an extra 8 to 9 mil after that, and then an extra 8 to 9 mil after that. So it's like that's the saving grace for the Ducks. They might have a really rough year this year, but it is the thing that they built is not dead if they can get Cutter and Beckett taken care of in a reasonable manner.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. To me, the biggest thing is behavior. My biggest intrigue is behavior. The money is the money. GMs can find, if you guys are so good at finding talent, find your talent on the fringes and put the money where you need to use it. You can find guys for cheap who can be serviceable. And it's about your coach. It's about your scouting development. It's about your professional scouting. It's about your drafting. You can operate somewhat well in this situation. Now, can you have a 4-line deep loaded super team of fury? No. But you can build something reasonable, something effective, something, the talent's the most important thing. The thing that really sticks to me is what are we going to actually see a behavior change? And this is the part that makes me the saltiest. Is our offer sheets actually ever going to be a thing? Legitimately. Like, are we going to now get one every offseason? We thought offer sheets were going to be a thing after, the Blues double offer sheeted the Oilers. We were like, okay, this is going to start to be more of a trend. We're going to see it at these like mid-level players who are important. And we're going to just start seeing GMs do this. And then we had nothing interesting happen. This offseason has been one of the craziest in a long time for the NHL. But the Karlsson offer sheet's driven by like pettiness from the Flyers side of the whole thing. They gone quiet. They put out a statement being like, we're disappointed that Leo's going to stay with the Ducks. While we knew it was a possibility, we're going to continue to do things. You know what they haven't done? Offer sheeted Fantilli. You know what they haven't done? Offer sheeted Bedard. They took a shot at the Ducks. It was a very pointed thing that they did. No one else is doing it. No one else is busted. Like the Devils offer sheeted a guy from the Mammoth on like a 1-year contract. Baron Hayton on a 1-year contract, and Utah kept it. No one talked about it. No one talked about it.
I didn't even know that.
I don't think GMs are actually going to change their behavior. I think it's going to continue to be the petty circle of stuff. So it's like, besides the money figure changing how certain players are going to ask for contracts, I would love if offer sheets became a common thing. I think you should reward franchises for locking up players early. That's why the bridge deal existed for those players who you didn't know if they were going to be like franchise superstar. And if they turned out to be that, you renegotiate the contract after the first year and you give them a pay raise and you say, here we go, you're set. But I don't think GMs are going to turn around and suddenly start offer sheeting everybody at the mid-level next year.
I hate to brag on my GM not being an idiot this offseason, but like, props to Chris Drury for doing a bridge deal with Schneider. Yeah. And he kept the RFA status. Yay. Yeah.
And
It's
you
not hard.
added scoring at an incredibly reasonable cap hit and
Yeah.
traded away like
Oh my
And
god, we
Chris
have to be
Drury would
happy
be
for
the
Tyler
hero.
for once on
Like,
this show.
Drury transacted.
I'm actually
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I'm trying to think of who might have had a better offseason. Like genuinely, I'm not trying to brag for a minute, but like Chris did good.
I've got one. We'll get to it. I have a nominee.
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
there's one. I agree.
Yeah,
I know
I
who
think-
you're talking about.
There's
On that note, though,
it's fascinating. We'll see what
It is
happens.
fascinating. Yeah.
Time will tell.
offer sheets to me are just like like I said earlier, it's just a giant game of chicken, and they're only ever used to be petty. So despite everyone going, "Oh, okay, offer sheets are going to be a normal thing," it's like, no, Alex, you are correct. GMs aren't going to change the way they are. They're just going to keep using it for what it is, and that is to fuck over someone else for the sake of LOL. You know what I mean? Like we saw maybe the funniest one now with Leo Carlson stuff, but like God knows what could happen in the next couple of years. But also, like, again, if anyone, hot take, Vancouver should just shut the fuck up and offer sheet Bedard.
Dude, honestly, it's just fucking like 20.
Bring him home.
It's just $20 million. Don't even like bat an eye.
$20 million straight up. The Canucks should just straight up offer sheet Bedard.
I'm gonna laugh when this
He's
happens.
from Vancouver. He loves it back home. You should just buck up the money and just be like, here you go.
I'm gonna actually like
Seattle should do it. So Seattle should just be like,
okay, so Vancouver does have the money to do it.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
They could realistically do it, but no, that's all offer sheets are really for. At the end of the day, is just being petty, which is really funny that it's a tool for that in the NHL, but it makes the off seasons interesting. On the topic of off seasons, because we were talking about teams that had a good off season, I do want to talk about a team that had a bad. I think bad is the word to use now, but also highly questionable, and that is the San Jose Sharks. That's not either of our teams.
Let
me just make the record.
Terrible off season.
Yes, let me just make. Boo! Let me just put the record for the record. Let me just set it straight. None of our teams, Iserman. What the fuck are the San Jose Sharks doing? What did you like, Mike Greer? You had such a good draft. You got Ivar Stenberg, and you got Keaton Vierhoff in the top 10, and then you went, oh wait, I know what we can do with a late round pick, and you grabbed Ryan Lynn. You grabbed two of the best right-hand shot D prospects in the draft this year, and you got your future other star winger to bolster your already ridiculous young forward core. And everyone went, wow, that was amazing. There's no way the Sharks screw this up. And then the Sharks screwed it up. Jacob Trouba.
Jacob Trouba and Darnell
Nurse. Mind you, by the way, Darnell Nurse at full contract.
Yeah, no retention. They simply let Edmonton off the hook, which is, I think, the biggest crime of that trade.
Yep. Is that you let Edmonton get away with this.
Like, you have to... Yes, you have a progression of your young players that might help you make the playoffs, but you just missed. What is the most effective way to gain points and slots in the standings? Not letting your competition get cap relief.
Yeah.
In your division.
In your division.
One of the for the rebuilding Ducks and Sharks who are on the upswing, you need the old powers to fall out of being good. So the Ducks needed the Kings to start getting worse. They needed Edmonton and Vegas to start getting worse. Vegas has kind of proved they're going to be a thorn in everyone's side and they aren't going to go anywhere. Edmonton and LA, who knows what's going to happen to them? So what did the Sharks do? Help Edmonton.
Edmonton had, for lack of a better word, a nice offseason.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely get like a B+.
Yeah, they made some depth changes. They unloaded Darnell Nurse, and they got Freddie Anderson. They have a goalie. They have a Stanley Cup winning goalie.
And they certainly have a coach as well.
Oh God!
Well,
let's talk about that Sabres meme.
Yes. Oh well, I was looking at the depth chart for the Oilers, and I saw Connor McDavid's name. I go, hey, that kid's pretty good. Don't ask me about any of the youngsters, though. I don't like them. I only work with kids, and they're good men and they're good players, and they come from a good family. And yeah, I'm excited. What you said? What happened in Columbus was my fault? No, not at all. Anyway, hey, what's that cell phone doohickey you got over there? Mind if I take a look? Fucking hell. The Oilers.
That's
are
gonna
gonna
be weird.
They're
That's
gonna,
gonna
be
be
such,
so weird.
they're gonna be such an interesting team to watch.
Roster decisions. I give Edmonton a B+.
Yes.
Coaching choice. You're hanging out in the Ducks tier, the F tier.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's gonna be weird.
How weirdly I could see it working with Connor. I don't know why. I just feel like
Supposedly
him and Connor
they had
are gonna get along.
leadership meetings. Like
Apparently
they
they did,
sat
yeah.
and they met and they like interviewed Babcock themselves. And it's like, what you're asking for someone to come in and spank you guys?
It's
So
a weird.
Steve was mentioning
Weird.
this on. Dangle was mentioning this on one of the SDPs a while ago after the hiring had been made official. That why are we surprised? Why are we surprised by this hiring? You have a
Stan
incredibly
Bowman.
pissed off. Yeah, well, Stan Bowman, but you also have an incredibly pissed off Connor McDavid, who made back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, lost both, didn't make it out of the first round this past season, and also is still reeling from losing in overtime at the Olympics. This man is on a hunt, and who better, really, like to piss people off than to hire Mike Babcock?
Yeah. It's a strange move. Before we get too far removed from San Jose, Tyler, did you have any thoughts on San Jose?
I mean, sure you guys covered it, but the defense was just what the fuck.
Weird
man?
choice.
Just,
So weird.
yeah.
Now, to be fair to them,
Weird.
they don't have any NHL, like their forward pipeline is just a list of dudes who are like basically NHL ready.
Yeah,
People we haven't even seen yet. And
It's just you still need
but
someone
they don't
to
have
play
that on the
D.
defensive side. They don't
I
have
know.
that on the defensive side. So they need to fill bodies for a little bit. And they just made some really weird choices to fill those holes.
Yeah, I just can't see it. I don't know, like Orlov and Nurse and Trupa, that's just a choice, man. Like
Truba, Nurse, they got Kesselring, Sam Dickinson's obviously still there. Like
are you afraid someone's gonna punch Macklin Celebrini in the face? Like,
no,
he's kind of proven he can stick up for himself.
Yeah, if they got Gudis too, I would have been laughing. But
I kind of was like, this seems like something that would have happened. I was like, we're gonna get Gudis, but yeah, I don't know. It was a very weird choice.
Very weird choice.
We're gonna help out.
Tyler, do you have a nominee? Tyler, do you have a nominee for off-season failure from a non-obvious team?
This is gonna be kind of my like. This is not me even just showing it up because they're like our little brother and annoying. I feel like the Devils completely lost the plot of what they were doing.
What do you mean? They did exactly what they needed to and traded Simone Nemec.
Yeah, and they traded their starting goaltender. Like, I don't know what the plan was. Like, I like Jake Allen. Currently on roster, by the way, this is wild. The Devils are spending $3.9 million on goaltenders in the year of our Lord 2026. The Rangers are spending $3 million on a backup in Korpisalo. Like, and you kind of need goalies to win games. And like, I'm not the biggest Markstrom fan, but like, he was pretty good. Like, for them, he was really good. And then obviously, like, Nemec leaving is kind of huge. Like, you're not going to really replace him. He was like one of their better defensive pieces. Like, sure, he doesn't score, but that's not his job.
The position is called defenseman.
Yeah, precisely. So it just was a really weird.
But Tyler,
weird vibe.
Tyler, Nemec had to go because remember, they had the answer to all their prayers and more in Luke Hughes.
Yeah, I hear ya. And then they signed Anthony Mantha yesterday.
I saw that, yeah.
Which
I
do love me some Anthony Mantha. He's kind of just a guy.
Yeah, or Nico Hischier.
Yeah,
Poor
I mean,
Nico Hischier.
He's got
Nico Hischier.
He's got Jack Hughes when he's not hurting himself at team dinners, and he's got Jesper Bratt, who I absolutely love.
Jesper Bratt is nice. Yeah. Jesper Bratt's nice.
It's also wild that Timo Meier
out here saving. Yeah, Nico Hischier's out here saving people in the summer. Did you guys see the headline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual hero, Nico Hischier.
Actual hero, Nico Hischier.
He's a good one.
Nico Hischier is so I feel so bad for that dude sometimes because this is a guy who, maybe hot take, this is a guy who probably should have won a Selke by now and done something in the playoffs because he's an incredible defensive forward. But,
and he's a 1C signed at $11.7 million.
And and what have they done? They got in once, and everyone anointed the Devils as the new kings of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they got in once. Everyone said, "Oh, the Devils are coming." They got we talked about this before. At least I've gone on like a bit before this where it was when they got like Timo Meier and everything, and they were like, "The Devils are coming. Watch out! It's the best top 6 in the league. Oh no, the Devils
they had
are coming."
Toffoli for like 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was like Toffoli, Meyer, Bratt, Heischer, Hughes, and like I can't even remember who the 6th person was in that top 6. Fuck it. So was it? I think it might have been Dawson Mercer. I think they considered Dawson Mercer a part of that.
It's not relevant anymore. That's why you don't remember.
Yes, that hasn't been relevant. Like what? Like the New Jersey Devils are so good at doing something. They're like, what's the thing? It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They take a step forward and then they take like 10 steps back.
Yeah, it's just like I just feel like they had a weird one. Like, look, half my family are Devils fans. Like, I do root for them to like be competitive because it's more fun when like we actually have like meaningful games rather than one of us just curb stomping other. It's not fun. So it's like, wow, but like they kind of just completely lost. Like I said, $3 million in goaltenders is wild. That's wild. That's a choice.
Aren't they still trying to get Connor Hellebuck?
I mean, yeah, but like, I just feel like you should secure that or get pretty close at that point.
Yeah.
And they don't have money. They have $3 million to spend right now, or just shy of 4. It's like 3.8.
Man, Luke Hughes for Hellebuck 1 for 1, huh?
I mean, they have to do something. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird one. Admittedly, like trading Markstrom and this whole thing was very weird. So yeah, they kind of lost it.
Yeah, strange. They kind of lost the thread.
They did.
I don't have an obvious additional loser that I'm particularly irritated with their moves. I don't know what the direction is. I guess in one way it's kind of the St. Louis Blues, except I'm really high on Mason McTavish. And so I think it's actually a fantastic addition. The out of Jordan Kyrou is weird. That didn't make much sense to me, but that's the segue to one of my offseason winners is the Washington Capitals retool. I think this is a sick retool. I was saying before we started recording, this is either going to be the 24 Predators who brought in all this super talent and then flopped, or it's going to be an excellent retool that transitions the Capitals into their post Ovi era. Ovi can have one last season. He can call it. They have a real roster around him for one more season. If he retires next year, they aren't screwed. And we were talking about in like 21, 22 for several years, what happens when Ovi's gone? What happens when Ovi's gone? What else is here? And then they had their blip in the road before becoming a President's Trophy winning team. What happens when Ovi's gone? They have their answer. They brought in Kyrou, Tuck. I think I'm forgetting people, but those are like the 2 huge ones. Kyrou and Tuck to good extensions. And then they have their pipeline of young guys that look good. It's I love it. I think the Capitals totally had a fantastic offseason. Nailed it.
It's such the Capitals are so intriguing in the moves they made because you had guys who they've been like developing for the most part and working on drafting for the better part of 6 or 7-ish years, right? And not to mention their AHL team, the Hershey Bears, have been like historically great. Like it's been a good development system in Hershey. So the hope was this is, the guys they were drafting were going to be the future post Ovi. It's just a matter of when post Ovi begins. But I think about something that Tyler and I have actually been talking about for years about the Capitals that rings true now. And that is the guys they drafted are truly guys. Like, okay, for example, Connor McMichael was involved in the Jordan Kyrou trade. Connor McMichael was a guy I remember hearing about that everyone said he's going to be an elite passer. He's got all this, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. And he was doing okay as a Capital. And then they said, "Yeah, bye. We're getting, I mean, I don't blame the Capitals for doing that. You're getting Jordan Kyrou out of it. Hell yeah, right?" Hendrix Lapierre. When Hendrix Lapierre got drafted, all I could hear people tell me was, he's an incredible shot. He's a sniper. He's got all this, yada, yada. And I remember bringing this up to Tyler one day. I think this was when we were in town for the draft in Nashville in 23. And I was like, yeah, all these Capitals, like draft picks they've had and these prospects. And Tyler looks at me and goes, yeah, but no one talks about them. He's like, have you heard anything about a Hendrix Lapierre or Connor McMichael or any of those prospects since? And I'm like, not really. He's like, exactly the point. So for Washington to move away from those guys that were the, implied future of the Capitals and do what they did, I think is one of the smartest moves I've seen a front office make in a while.
It's really helped by the emergence of Ryan Leonard and Cole Hudson as well as viable prospects.
Yeah. Ryan Leonard especially. Cole Hudson is interesting because he's definitely got the upside. It's just, I think Cole Hudson's going to be a fun one to talk about in a couple of years' time, because I think a lot of people are going to try to compare him to Lane, but still a great prospect regardless. And not to mention, like, the way the Capitals are built right now is it's healthy, right? It's healthy. The decor is still there, and the decor is, it's getting there. They're figuring that out. I think that might be their next step, is kind of patching things up where they need to. And then you have Logan Thompson, who's one of the best goaltenders in the league on a good day. One of the most consistent goaltenders in the league on a good day. Like, good for the Capitals, truly.
Yeah. If they could just get better jerseys, I think I'd be okay with it. Still rocking like 2010 Reebok's Edge as a choice. I mean, honestly, I 100% agree on the Capitals. I mean, I lived there my whole life, and like the whole thing with the Capitals was always, Hershey was great, but kind of to Yusuf's point, it was like they never like had anyone of note, but Hershey was always really good, which was the weird thing. But like, dude, it was just kind of keep Ovi floating for a long time, and I think now it's like, oh shit, this is it. This is the end. Like, we got to actually do something now. So this feels like a good way to give him one last shot. Sure, the defense is still a little bit of a question mark. But at the end of the day, I think this is like, they actually had an offseason where it's like, Alex, you nailed it. It's either going to be like, oh my God, look at all this terrible, or it's going to be like, damn, this worked out good. Like, and obviously, like, Connor, Michael, Hunter, Lapierre were big names, but they obviously weren't doing enough to even be probably their third and fourth most talked about young guy. So, bye. And they've got a Kyrou who's an absolute unit and a dog of a player, and like, life's good, man.
Speed. They surrounded Ovechkin with speed.
Yeah.
So he can truly just vibe in his office.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need to ask him to do anything else.
And they're also big. Like, Kyrou and Tuck are not small dudes. Like, they're large men. I
like their offseason.
I also like their offseason because, like, truly, I mean, like, no, bias aside, I don't really think, besides Capitals and Rangers, I don't think anyone in the East, like in the Metro, got better. The Flyers didn't do anything but offer Sheet Carlson. Like, didn't do a huge move. They're still rolling with Dan Vladar as their number one, which I think is a choice.
They extended Dan Vladar.
Yeah.
Yes,
the Devils, I have my opinions on. The Islanders didn't do anything.
You're just going to see another year of Schaefer progression, right?
Yeah, so like, they didn't do anything. The Penguins literally didn't do anything, and everyone's old as dirt. And like, after their playoff performance, I think that's kind of showed a lot. I mean, like, Columbus is kind of just always Columbus. Like, we're sixth place, there's fifth in the division. It's like, yeah, it sounds about right. Like, genuinely, the Capitals probably have the best shot. I mean, Carolina's Carolina. They're going to be fine. But, like, they actually have a shot to definitely make the playoffs at the very least. And maybe even, like, get, not even as a wild card, but actually get, like, the second or third seed in the division.
Yep.
Because they played well this year.
Yep.
At the beginning, they were doing great. Kind of teetered off. Yep. But, yeah. Honestly, like, as far as winners go, I mean, meant a two-part winner. I think it's for both sides. I think Florida and Ottawa. I think Ottawa ridding their world of Brady to Chuck, I think was just kind of, that needed to happen.
No.
Like,
Hold on. Now you have Tyler, you got to speak a little slower because Brady might not be able to understand any of those words.
But like, I feel like for Ottawa's sake, this is now done. They can just bury the hatchet and be done with it. It's over. It should have been done 2 years ago. It should have been done last year, and now it's finally like it's they can move on. Florida is continuing their like party down south. Like, I don't know if they're going to actually be a better team. I don't really think Markstrom's better than Bobrovsky. I don't really think Kachuk adds that much stuff. However, vibes, baby. Like, they're gonna be like the boys are all hanging out. Like it seems to just be like Team USA frat house.
Not give. Do they like Brady and Matt have their podcast already? So I guess this is kind of ruined. But I'm like, we don't need to know what's going on in that room down there.
Oh yeah, no, we're good.
No, you guys just play hockey and punch people and be really good at that. They're gonna have Barkov back, who looks sick.
Yeah.
I get I don't actually like the Markstrom move. I think we all feel the same way about Markstrom, and I don't know if that's really an upgrade. I don't know why they couldn't just pay Bob.
Yeah,
but we'll see. They play great team defense, so if Markstrom stays healthy,
Florida will be fine. Plus, not to mention, they now have what they could run I like to call it the Power Rat unit, which they could realistically run a power play of just the Rats, and that being Marchand, the Kachucks, Bennett, and Ekblad. Are they going to score goals? No. But they'll probably injure everyone. But yeah, the Markstrom thing is definitely the thing that irks me. But for Florida has now done better by not doing a whole lot. The major move was getting Brady over there, obviously. But with Barkov coming back at 100%, we're probably going to see the same on-ice production from the Panthers as we saw the last couple seasons, barring this past season, obviously. But yeah, goaltending is just kind of the only like head scratcher.
What a weird deal they gave Radko Gudas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. He's also there. Another rat. So many rats.
They gave Radko Gudas 6 years.
Dude, that's wild. Why not?
What?
5.
Florida's just operating on a weird vibe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 6 years. You get to live like right outside of Miami. Like, I don't know, man. Why not? That's a vibe. That's not a bridge contract. That's a fucking beach contract.
That's a retirement contract.
Yeah. That's a Robidaw Island kind of thing, man.
It's weird.
So,
Yusuf, do you have another winner?
I do. Tyler, did you not? Well, I guess you did explain your two-putter in that Ottawa and Florida.
Yeah, Ottawa. I don't really like personnel-wise. Whatever. They just are done with this situation. And honestly,
Brady is out of the room, and that is kind of the biggest win for them.
That's what they needed to do for a long time.
Brady is out of that room, so they think they're fine. They've also not made up for it. Well, we'll find out how the season goes, but obviously, the acquiring of like William Macklin is going to be helpful for them. So they at least have potential goal scoring back on the team. Even though Brady didn't score that many goals, he just kind of was there. This is going to sound really weird to say. But low-key, I'm not going to call them a winner of the offseason, but I'm going to say they had a pretty, like, when you look at it in hindsight, they had a pretty good offseason. I can't believe I'm about to say this. The Leafs. It's so weird. But the Leafs, when you look at what they did, Chayka made a lot of moves. A whole lot of moves. Some of them a little more questionable than others, but that's fine. But you look at, the 4 big acquisitions of this offseason. Sergei Bobrovsky, of course, which wild. Darren Radish, which wild. Jack Roslovic and Nick Paul. You've got 2 scrappy depth guys. One of them can score in Jack Roslovic if you can get him, working. He's super flexible in the middle 6 to top 6. You bolstered your defense. Congratulations. Good job. I'm so proud of you. For once, you actually did something. And you got a goaltender. Now, is Bob old? Yeah. Is it a weird contract? Yeah. 3 years, $7 million a year. But if you look at their long-term game plan, next season is going to be Bob and Anthony Stolarz, which was the Stanley Cup winning tandem of 2024. And then eventually their hope is that they have Arthur Akhtiamov in the AHL in the Marlies who just won Calder Cup MVP. And he should be ready at some point. They ship off Stolars, and you have Bob be a mentor, and you do that. But just looking at the names that the Leafs acquire, coming off of drafting Gavin McKenna first overall, which is still a sentence that disgusts me to my core, and I can feel the acid in my body burning, they actually did a pretty good job. Like, I don't hate it.
I can't wait for the fans to run everybody out of town.
They're going to find something to be mad about.
I think I'm kind of mid on it as an off season. I do have to give them credit. I think they have done one of the funniest things of the entire off season, and that is bring Matt Sundin and Matt Sundin and Daniel Alfredson are in the same front office.
That is so weird. That is so. My buddy, one of my buddies out here, Phil, texted me about it, and he was like, "You're Daniel Alfredson's a Leaf now?" And I'm like, "Daniel Alfredson?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Daniel Alfredson?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "The Red Wings legend, Daniel Alfredson." And he goes, "When was Daniel Alfredson a Red Wing?" I'm like, "Don't ask questions. The Red Wings legend, and also I guess played for the Sens, Daniel Alfredson." It's like, yeah. I'm like, Swedes. It's that Swedish connection. All right, sure.
Just kind of a funny thing for me. I don't really have much else to say about the Leafs.
Yeah,
there's such a circus 9 times out of 10. So, are they a good circus? I guess we'll find out.
Tyler?
I mean, they're going to score goals. Like, the Leafs have been scoring goals for years. I know we have wonderful fans on YouTube who don't agree with me all the time on the Leafs. But, like, I mean, they're certainly good at scoring goals. It's just keeping them out of the back of the net is the other entire half of the damn game. So, I don't know. I mean, this is the Leafs forever. I don't know. I don't love it, but, you know, they're going to be scoring goals. That's what they've been doing.
They're going to be scoring goals. I'm so
Pucks
curious
will
to
enter nets.
I mean, honestly, the Bobrovsky signing was interesting. Like,
yeah,
it might help. I mean, truthfully, I mean, that does actually give them a goalie. I still don't like their defense. I still don't like their defense.
And Sam Bennett is going to feel really bad about elbowing him too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Oliver Ekman-Larsson 7-8 years ago when he was, you know, not 1,000. Chris Tanev is a choice. Jake McCabe at 32. I really didn't want him at 30 or 26. Morgan Riley is actually acceptable. And Darren Radish is solidly okay at best.
I mean, they have this whole weird thing looming over their head too with the Nyes trade that didn't happen by like a couple minutes.
Yeah. Like, it's just a weird vibe, but like, they're going to be scoring a lot of goals, man. They probably actually legitimately might have one of the best top sixes in the league, like by a mile.
Yeah,
like,
they might.
It's just
we'll see what Gavin McKenna is.
I mean, Bob does give them a goaltender, and he is a good enough goaltender to play off a shitty defense. So I will be very intrigued.
Yeah,
this could actually be one of the best league teams in the world, to be truthfully honest with you, just solely because they actually have a goalie now.
And divisional competition is like
Montreal and Tampa.
Yeah, I guess it is. No, it's actually kind of competitive. It's not the Metro.
Yeah, actually, because there's like 5 teams that are actually competitive in the
Atlantic is actually going to be interesting.
Yeah,
the Atlantic is going to be very interesting going forward. Like,
Yusuf, how are you feeling about the Atlantic?
Oh my god, what a mess of a division!
How do you think you're going to fare?
Actual mess. Realistically, I think the Red Wings are probably going to be in the bottom of the barrel, and like I could.
This is the eyes.
Yeah, the problem is everyone's gotten better.
Not true. New Jersey didn't, but they're not in your division.
Well, in the Atlantic, not in the whole East, but no, correct. Yeah. New Jersey did not get better. Realistically,
Tampa's always better.
Tampa's kind of just like the same.
Tampa to me
Tampa brought in like Jansen Harkins and Jeffrey Vriel.
Yeah,
who solid fourth line players that I love. But
like Boston and Tampa just kind of operate like they just kind of always good.
They just kind of exist. Yeah.
Like Buffalo is always going to be like they're either going to continue this or they're going to be absolutely.
This is going to be fascinating. Was last year real or is it a fever dream?
It just with Tampa they never are on a decline, but they're also never on like the upswing. They're always it seems like they make lateral moves and just make it work all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just
The Atlantic will
existing.
be fun.
Yeah.
Who wins the Atlantic? God knows.
Alex, how you feeling, buddy? One last. How you doing?
My teams?
Yeah.
My team? You know what? The decisions have been made. I hope that Verbeek trades cap dumps at ridiculously cheap prices to the Penguins. I don't know about you, but I think it'd be kind of funny to just hand them Frank Vetrano and Chris Kreider for 2 second-round picks and just say, have fun.
Cries internally. I know that laugh. That's not a happy laugh. That's crying.
That's not a happy laugh at all.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm relieved that my Leo Carlson jersey is still relevant and my favorite player is still on my favorite team. That's the sentiment I will end on.
I like that.
That's good. Yeah. Tyler?
Pavel Dorofeev is going to score 45 this year. I'm calling it now.
And they're still going to lose to the Hurricanes, but that's okay.
And Jason Robertson will start the season in Dallas.
Historically, Yusuf, the Hurricanes can't beat us. That's their problem.
That's true.
We didn't play them this year, and they won. See? This is what happens when they don't face Shesterkin. They actually can win.
Russian goalies.
Yeah, I was going to
Russian
say, this is not a good goalie matters, man. Think about that. 1 year they didn't play us, they won the cup. So on that note, sign your goalies, sign your first line centers. That's a good one. All right. This has been
before they become RFAs. Yeah.
Preferably, yes.
Wonderful. Well, unless anyone else has got anything to add, that's Alex. That's Yusuf. I'm Tyler. This has been Up the Boards. Chris Drury is back, baby.